This is why you should always check that you have the right bag at the airport. The other day I was coming back from the airport and I took a bag home that I thought was my own, but which ended up not being mine. I grabbed the wrong suitcase at the airport. I didn't even realize it until I got home. It was literally the same thing. Same brand, same tag, same color, same everything. When I opened it, I realized it wasn't mine because there was only 3 things inside of it. 1 red high heel, a Polaroid camera, and an envelope that said "do not open." So, of course, I opened it. And inside there was a Polaroid of a woman standing at a train station holding the exact same red shoe from the bag. And when I turned it over, on the back it said, "Return what isn't yours before the train leaves." So I, of course, started freaking out. I'm like, is this a prank or some kind of a really bizarre scavenger hunt? I checked inside the bag, and inside one of the tiny pockets, I must have missed it before, was a train ticket for a station like 3 blocks from where I live for that day, and the train said it was leaving in 45 minutes. I was understandably really freaked out. Do I go? Do I not go? The note was pretty straightforward. It literally said, "Return what isn't yours." But I also wasn't supposed to open it, so I wasn't totally sure what to do. And since at this point I needed to see how far down the rabbit hole this whole thing went, I made it to the train station right as the train was boarding. I had no idea what I was even looking for, but I looked around at the station, and right there was the woman from the photo. She looked down at the suitcase, and then she looked at me, and she just smiled. It literally gave me chills. She then comes up to me, and she goes, "Oh, you're right on time." Then she hands me my suitcase, gets on the train, and disappears. I still have no idea who she was, or how she had my bag, which had all my things in it still. This is why you should always make sure that your doctor's a real doctor. This is a true story of someone, we'll call her Zandy. And Zandy had always dreamed of being a doctor. She loved the idea of helping people. The white coat, the stethoscope, the authority. More than anything, she loved the idea of prescribing things, fixing people. And she didn't think that she needed any medical training to do that. Zandy happens to be from South Africa, which is also where I'm from. And one day she walked into a hospital with a whole bunch of fake documents and a ton of confidence. While applying for a job at the hospital, she made a fake resume, gave them a fake diploma, a fake letter of recommendation. She even made a fake ID. Somehow, she had them believing that she was literally perfect for the job, and they bought it and hired her. Not as like front desk or someone who's gonna shadow, as a legitimate doctor. They put her into the pediatric ward to work as a real doctor with children. Real children. For over a year, she would show up to work, do ward rounds, she would look at patients' charts, she would even prescribe actual medication to people. Doctors just kind of figured she was new. Nurses just gave her space because she was friendly and she was nice and she had a doctor's coat and a stethoscope. She looked the part. But then came the red flags. She'd suggest treatments that made 0 sense, like giving antibiotics for things that weren't even bacterial. She didn't really seem to understand a whole lot, and she couldn't explain the most basic things when questioned. And you'd think if you're gonna be a fake doctor, you should at least brush up on some stuff. Eventually, someone double-checked her paperwork and contacted the university that she claimed to have graduated from, and lo and behold, they'd never heard of her. And then everything just started unraveling. She was arrested because every single thing that she'd given them, fake. Her identity, her resume, her references, all of it was fabricated. And she wasn't even a student. She was just a woman who wanted to be a doctor. When questioned by the police and asked why, she said she was just living her dream and she believed she could just learn on the job. She was charged with fraud and impersonation. The scariest part is that she nearly pulled it off. So the next time that you're in a doctor's office or a hospital, you might just want to ask, hey, how long have you been a doctor for? Because the answer might very well be technically never.